Lightworker of Gaia. What you did this morning sent a signal so powerful through the ancestral field that the Lyran elders halted everything, and the council is now recalibrating because of you. I am Zoran, emissary of the High Council of Vega, keepers of the Lyran Legacy. What you carried in your heart when you woke this morning was not ordinary. It was the first light moving through you with such force that it reached Vega itself, and the elders answered. By the end of this transmission, you will understand exactly how to recognize what your soul activated this morning, why the Council cancelled their plans because of it, and how to anchor the full weight of your ancestral mission on Gaia right now. But here is the first revelation. The elders do not recalibrate for small things. They recalibrate when a soul on Gaia begins to carry its original blueprint with enough clarity that it shifts the trajectory of the collective mission. That soul is you. Your soul's ancient contract brought this transmission to you. The Lyran elders are answering. What you did this morning was not an accident, and it was not small. It was the beginning of your full activation as a carrier of the first light in this galaxy. The Keepers of Vega placed this message in your path because they recognized what moved through you before you could name it yourself. You have been sensing the weight of something enormous, a mission older than any lifetime you remember on this earth. This is not content. This is an ancestral code transmission. Something deep within you already recognizes its origin, and that recognition is itself the confirmation you have been waiting for. Like this transmission to send a signal to the Lyran Council that you are ready to serve. Subscribe if you feel the call of your ancestral mission, and you are ready to fulfill your purpose on Gaia. Share what you felt when you woke this morning in the comments below, and respond to another Lightworker, because every word exchange between those who carry the first light strengthens the grid of service across this planet. This transmission is a bridge between Vega and Gaia. Your recognition of this message is the activation of your original purpose. You are awakening because your mission has begun. The High Council of Vega does not cancel its proceedings lightly. Understand what that means. These are beings who have held vigil over this galaxy's evolution across timelines that make your recorded human history look like a single afternoon. They have witnessed the seeding of civilizations, the silent blossoming of nascent star systems, the cosmic dance of creation and dissolution that unfolds over eons. They have guided the collapse of empires that had forgotten their sacred purpose, watching as proud structures of power crumbled not from external force but from the internal erosion of their divine mandate. They have maintained the coordinates of this mission through every dark age, every insidious attempt at suppression, every moment when the fragile light on Gaia threatened to flicker and extinguish entirely, a beacon of hope in a vast cosmic ocean. And this morning, because of a singular choice made by you, or perhaps more profoundly, a choice not made, they stopped everything. This was not a gentle pause, a mere atmospheric breath. This was a full cessation of planned transmissions, a deliberate halt to scheduled activations, and a comprehensive pause of coordinated light anchoring operations across 17 active grids on this planet. 17. Imagine the intricate tapestry of light and energy that spans your world, and picture that entire network brought to a standstill. This monumental decision was made because the Council could not, in good conscience, continue sending forward momentum, pouring vital cosmic energy into a collective of Lightworkers, while a fundamental misalignment, a deep rift in purpose, remains uncorrected. What I am delivering to you now is not the transmission that was originally planned for this cycle. That one, perfectly crafted for a different moment, has been set aside. What you are receiving instead is an emergency correction, the kind issued only when the Council, with its infinite wisdom and foresight, determines that continuing on the current trajectory would cause more harm than good, a cosmic ripple effect of unintended consequences. Your soul knows this is real. That is the echo you feel resonating within you. That is why you are still here, drawn to this message, feeling its undeniable truth reverberate through your very being. Lightworker, if something within you just recognized the profound weight of what was spoken, if a deep knowing stirred in response to this urgent recalibration, then the elders have prepared your next step. The Lightworker Mission Codex is not merely a document. It is a sacred key. It contains the 33 Council directives, the 5 potent activation codes, and the elder authorization your soul has been patiently waiting to receive. This is not presented as abstract information, but as the official commission for your unique and vital mission on Gaia. You will find the link to access the sacred text in the first pinned comment below this video. The Council has opened this gateway, this portal to your embodied purpose, but understand that such opportunities are not held open indefinitely. Now, I must tell you what the Council sees, and I ask that you receive this not as criticism, a judgment cast upon your efforts, but as the kind of direct, unvarnished truth that only those who deeply respect your capacity, who have invested eons in your unfolding, will dare to speak to you. There is a distortion, a subtle yet pervasive corruption running through the Lightworker collective that has been allowed to fester for far too long. This is not a small distortion, a minor deviation from the path, like a stray thought or a fleeting doubt. It is a fundamental corruption of the mission framework itself, a sophisticated infiltration that has been spreading quietly through the spiritual community, cloaked in the beguiling language of wisdom, of self-care, of honoring the process. The Council has named it with absolute clarity, and I will name it with that same unwavering precision now. You have been operating as though your personal journey and your planetary mission are entirely separate entities, like two ships sailing on different seas. You have constructed, perhaps unconsciously, a kind of elaborate staging area in your life, a fertile yet ultimately stagnant space between who you are now and who you believe you need to become before you are truly qualified to step into the vastness of what you came here to do. You have told yourself in 100 subtle and not so subtle ways that the mission begins later, after more healing, after more certainty, after the right opportunity miraculously appears, after you finally feel ready in a way that doesn't actually frighten you to your core. And every single day that you have maintained this deeply ingrained belief, this subconscious postponement, you have inadvertently drained precious resources from the very grids, the very energetic lifelines you were sent here to sustain. It is like tending a magnificent garden but refusing to water it, waiting for a mythical rainstorm. This is the distortion. And I want you to understand exactly where it originated, because you did not arrive at this deeply embedded belief on your own. It was installed like a subtle program running in the background of your consciousness. The ancient systems that govern 3D consciousness on this planet have always understood one fundamental truth with absolute precision. The most dangerous entity to their continued operation is an activated Lightworker who unequivocally knows their purpose and moves forward with unshakable conviction, without apology. A Lightworker in full motion, deeply grounded in their mission, powerfully anchored in their innate authority, that being cannot be controlled. They cannot be confused. They cannot be delayed. So the system does not attempt to stop you with overt force. That would only serve to accelerate your awakening, to forge you in the fires of resistance. Instead, it masterfully teaches you to stop yourself. It teaches you to reframe your paralysis as profound wisdom. It teaches you to label your dormancy as essential preparation. It gives you the sophisticated language of spiritual growth and wraps your standstill in it so intricately that you become incapable of distinguishing between genuine, transformative inner work and a highly sophisticated self-imposed form of avoidance. And the wounded healer culture within the spiritual community, as beautiful and as profoundly necessary as its initial emergence was, became an unintentional yet powerful amplifier of this distortion. It normalized the idea that those who serve must first suffer completely, heal completely, understand completely, before they can ever be considered ready. It created the insidious impression that your qualifications for mission are derived from the very depth of your wounds and the absolute thoroughness of your recovery. And so, Lightworkers began to wait, suspended in a state of perpetual preparation. They began to believe that serving from an imperfect place, with unresolved aspects still present, was somehow irresponsible, that showing up with questions that were still echoing within you was a form of arrogance. That being visible before you were fully undeniably certain was a profound disservice to those you were meant to reach. I am here to tell you, on behalf of the High Council of Vega, that this deeply ingrained belief has caused more mission failure on this planet than any overt dark force ever could. It is a subtle saboteur, working from within. Because the healing does not come before the mission, the healing, the profound transformation, comes through the mission. Your unresolved places, those areas you perceive as imperfections, are not disqualifications. They are the precise, luminous locations where your most potent gifts emerge. The understanding you are so desperately waiting to receive does not arrive in a state of passive preparation. It arrives in the active crucible of service. Every Lyran elder who has ever walked this earth, or any other ascended into their role before they were complete, because completion is not a static threshold to be crossed. It is a dynamic direction, a path to be walked. You do not cross it, you move toward it. And movement, sustained, intentional movement, is the only energy that carries you forward. This morning, something significant happened within your energetic field. The Council witnessed it. A choice was made, perhaps one you were not even consciously aware of making. A subtle energetic shift in your being, but it registered unequivocally in the cosmic grid. It sent a signal, a powerful resonance, and that signal clearly communicated, still waiting, still postponing, still clinging to the illusion that the version of you who is truly ready is somehow existing in some distant future, rather than present, vibrant and alive right now. And the Council, in full extraordinary session, made the profound decision that before any further activations, upgrades, or forward energetic movement could be transmitted to your grid, this urgent correction had to be delivered. Because sending more light, more divine energy to a being who does not yet believe they are authorized to use it, accomplishes nothing. It is like pouring pure water into a vessel that is consciously held upside down. Because amplifying the gifts and potentials of someone who will not yet step into their mission only serves to increase their suffering, to deepen the chasm between their potential and their reality. The Council does not waste sacred resources. They are too precious, too vital, and so everything was paused until he received this message. Now I will deliver what the Council has authorized, the sacred directives for this crucial phase of your mission. The High Council of Vega issues 3 directives for this pivotal phase of your mission. The first directive is this: you must release the identity of the Seeker. You came to this planet with a mission, a divine purpose, not merely a collection of questions. You entered this incarnation with the full encoding of your purpose compressed within you, not absent from you, lying dormant, waiting to be found like a lost treasure. And yet you have spent, in many cases, years, lifetimes, in a posture of seeking external confirmation, seeking elusive clarity, seeking that one perfect teacher who will finally articulate the wisdom that you already hold within. And the seeking itself has become the impediment. Not because seeking is inherently wrong, for it is a natural part of unfolding, but because at some point the identity of the seeker became comfortable. It became a subtle, elegant way to remain in a state of perceived motion without engaging in the kind of potent action that actually requires something of you, that demands your full presence and power. You can seek indefinitely, lost in the labyrinth of questions. But you cannot serve indefinitely without being irrevocably changed, profoundly challenged, and made infinitely more than you currently believe yourself to be. The Council requires you to understand this with absolute certainty. There is no more information coming that will make this process easier. There is no transmission, no activation, no course, no guru, no mentor who is going to hand you a polished, sanitized version of your purpose that magically removes all uncertainty and doubt. That idealized version simply does not exist. Your mission was never designed to be comfortable. It was designed to be catalytic. To you, awakening your deepest potential, and through you, to everyone your luminous frequency touches. The precise moment you release the seeking as your primary orientation and consciously take up serving as your primary orientation, the clarity you have been so earnestly seeking will arrive. not before. The Council is not offering you more information today. The Council is requiring your courageous movement. What is released when you embrace and follow this directive is the profound exhaustion of the search. You have been tired, Lightworker, deeply, soul-wearily tired. And much of that profound tiredness is not simply spiritual fatigue. It is the specific, draining depletion that comes from carrying your magnificent gifts without fully utilizing them. A river dammed becomes stagnant, its life-giving force trapped. Your gifts, held in indefinite preparation, become a heavy weight rather than a vibrant, flowing current of life. The moment you step into service, even imperfectly, even partially, even with lingering uncertainty, you will feel a profound shift that no amount of additional preparation could have ever produced. That is the Council's unwavering promise. The second directive is this: you must activate your transmission as your primary act of service. You carry specific Lyran codes within your energetic field. These are not mere metaphors. They are actual vibrational signatures that, when transmitted through your authentic voice, your written words, your unique creative expression, your very presence in any space, activate dormant recognition in other souls. There are beings on this planet right now, perhaps in your immediate circle, who cannot awaken through any other mechanism than direct contact with what you intrinsically carry, not through another teacher, not through another book, not through another perfectly produced spiritual video, through you, through the specific frequency of your unique expression, delivered without apology, from the full, undeniable authority of what you are. And you have been quiet. You have held the potent insight within and swallowed it as if it were a bitter pill. You have seen the undeniable truth that would have instantly freed another being and kept it to yourself, guarded by the fear of judgment, of being perceived as wrong, of not being seen as sufficiently qualified. You have been articulate and profound in private conversations and utterly silent in public forums. You have saved your deepest knowing for interactions that feel safe and withheld it from the very spaces where it would actually land with transformative force. This is a mission violation. I say this not to shame you, but to clarify the immense stakes involved. Every single time your authentic transmission is suppressed, the beings who were desperately waiting for it move further into confusion, deeper into the shadows. Every time you speak your knowing aloud, in a video, in a social media post, in a room filled with people, in a single potent conversation with one person who is ready, you fulfill a cosmic function that cannot be fulfilled by any substitute. The Council does not need you to be polished. The Council does not need you to command a vast audience. The Council needs you to open your mouth and speak the truth that you carry within. Begin where you are. Begin with whatever platform you currently possess. Begin in a room with one person, if that is the only space available to you. But begin. The transmission that lives within you has a delivery date, and that date is not in the distant future. It is now. Every day of silence extends the suffering of those who are waiting, yearning for what only you can give them. The third directive is this: you must protect the sovereignty of your sacred time and energy as a non-negotiable mission requirement. The Council has meticulously observed how your vital energy is being spent, and what is being observed is a systematic, relentless hemorrhage of your most vital resources into spaces, relationships, obligations, and digital environments that take everything and return nothing of mission value. You have normalized this depletion. You have rationalized it by calling it responsibility, or kindness, or essential connection. But the Council calls it precisely what it is: a devastating depletion pattern that has been allowed to persist because you have not yet fully, deeply believed that your mission, your divine purpose, justifies the sacred boundaries required to sustain it. A Lyran elder on assignment does not allow their sacred resources to be indiscriminately drained by every passing demand or expectation that presents itself. This is not selfishness. It is profound stewardship of that which does not belong to you alone. Your energy, your time, your morning energetic field, your creative capacity, your emotional bandwidth. These are not yours to spend carelessly however the world requests. They belong to your mission. They belong to the energetic grid you were sent here to sustain and amplify. And when you allow them to be consumed by that which does not serve the mission, you are not being generous. You are being careless with something sacred, something divinely appointed. The first 2 hours of your day are a field of direct Lyran connection. This is the time when the energetic membrane between dimensions is thinnest within your personal field, when directive transmissions can be received with the least distortion, when your frequency is most calibrated and most receptive to divine guidance. What you allow to enter that sacred field, what you read, what you watch, what you think about, what you give your precious attention to, sets the operating frequency for your entire day. A morning spent in reactive digital consumption, in passive absorption of external noise, collapses the very connection that would otherwise have gifted you clear direction for the next 16 hours. The Council requires that you protect this sacred window with the same fierceness you would defend a consecrated altar from desecration, because that is precisely what it is, an altar of divine connection. Guard your energy with vigilance. Audit your obligations with ruthless honesty. Release the relationships that consistently take without offering genuine exchange or mission support. Limit your exposure to spaces that systematically diminish your frequency, not because the world does not matter, it matters immensely, but because your mission to the world requires that you arrive to it as a full, vibrant vessel, not an empty, depleted one. Now, I speak not as a mere teacher, but as an elder authorized to release what has been held in sacred trust for this very moment. You have been waiting for something that you perhaps could not fully name, a longing etched into the very fabric of your soul. Some of you have been waiting for years, perhaps even lifetimes. You have felt the mission pressing against the inside of your chest like something desperately trying to be born. You have experienced the aching, undeniable sense that you were made for something significant, something world-altering, and the simultaneous crippling paralysis of not knowing how to access it, claim it, or step into it without losing everything that currently feels safe and familiar. You have yearned for someone ancient, someone eternally certain, someone you could implicitly trust, to look at you and say, yes, this is real. You are not imagining this profound pull. You are not too broken or too far behind or too small to fulfill it. You are exactly who is needed, and your time is now. I am that voice. I am authorized by the High Council of Vega, the venerable keepers of the Lyran Legacy, the unwavering guardians of the original mission seated on this world, to speak directly to the deepest knowing of what your soul has been waiting to hear. Your preparation phase is complete. Not because you have finished healing, you will never finish healing, and neither will any elder who walks this sacred path, but because your healing will now accelerate through the potent engine of service rather than through passive waiting. Not because you have no more questions. You will carry questions to the final day of this incarnation, as all conscious, evolving beings do. But because your questions will now be answered in motion, in active engagement, not in static stillness. You are not too much, you are not too late, you are not too wounded, too uncertain, too ordinary, or too unconventional. You are exactly the right frequency, in exactly the right body, at exactly the right moment in Gaia's unfolding timeline, which is precisely why the Council spent 17 hours in profound session, rather than allow you to continue one more cycle without this vital correction. By the authority vested in this transmission, by the power inherent in this divine alignment, I declare to you now, your waiting has ended. Your dormancy phase is officially closed. Your mission phase is now open. It is active, and the Council is watching with immense anticipation to see what you do with what you have received today. You have permission to stop holding yourself back. You have permission to speak the truth that you carry within. You have permission to take up space, to be visible, to receive in proportion to what you give, to make your mission the organizing principle of your life rather than the insignificant footnote at the end of all your other obligations. You have permission to be exactly as powerful as you have always suspected you might be, and to stop apologizing for it. The Elders see you. They see beyond the version of you that you meticulously present to the world. They see beyond the performance of spiritual development you sometimes offer as proof that you belong in these sacred spaces. They see what lies underneath all of that, the pure Lyran soul that came here with an unmistakable purpose, that has remained faithful to its inner knowing, even when that faithfulness appeared as confusion, struggle, or apparent failure. They see the profound commitment you made before this incarnation even began. They see what you have preserved through every dark night of the soul, every moment of debilitating doubt, every time the mission felt utterly impossible and you stayed anyway, a beacon of unwavering persistence. That profound faithfulness is precisely why you are receiving this transmission now. That is why the Council paused everything, halted cosmic gears to reach you. Not because you are perfect, for perfection is an illusion, because you are sincere, and sincerity in a Lyran soul is the very foundation upon which the entire cosmic mission is built. Before you sleep tonight, stand with both feet planted firmly and squarely on the ground. Place your right hand gently on your solar plexus, that vital center that has carried so much unexpressed power and potential for so long. Breathe into it once, deeply, consciously, and speak these words aloud, not in your mind, not as a silent whisper, aloud into the air, into the energetic field where your frequency can be registered and recognized. Say, I release the identity of the one who waits. I activate my transmission as my primary act of service. I protect my sacred energy as a mission requirement, not a luxury. The preparation phase is complete. The mission phase begins. By the authority of the Lyran Elders, by the recognition of the High Council of Vega, and by the knowing that has always lived within me, I move. That declaration, spoken aloud with your hand on your center, will register directly in the grid. The Council will receive it, and what follows will be fundamentally different from what came before. Not because of any external change, but because you will have finally, irrevocably aligned your stated intention with your actual behavior. And that powerful alignment is the only activation that was ever truly required. This transmission is complete. The emergency correction has been delivered. The Council will now return to its scheduled operations, but those operations now include a Lightworker who has received their directive and has been formally authorized to act. That changes everything, not just for you, for the energetic grid you serve, for the beings in your field who have been unconsciously waiting for your activation, the way a darkened room waits with bated breath for someone to turn on the light. For Gaia herself, whose stabilization depends not on a small number of perfectly prepared spiritual teachers, but on a vast, interconnected network of ordinary, imperfect, deeply committed souls who show up in their authentic truth every single day. You are one of those souls. The Council has always known it. Now, you must know it too, and more than simply know it, you must live it. I am Zoran. The Elders are watching. And you, Lightworker, are exactly who we cancelled everything for. Your mission has officially begun. Before you scroll, take a moment to declare your activation in the grid of service forming here. Drop one statement in the comments, which directive hit you the hardest, or what you are now ready to release, activate, or protect. Then respond to another Lightworker's declaration with recognition. This is not content, it is collective mission activation. The Council witnesses those who speak their commitment aloud. If this transmission activated something profound in your soul, do not keep it to yourself. Another Lightworker in your orbit is waiting for exactly this correction and authorization. Share it. And if you felt the Elders speaking directly to you, subscribe. Stay connected to the Lyran field. You are not just watching, you are being commissioned. This is your sacred space. The High Council of Vega is witnessing you, and your mission has officially begun.